My name is Amanda Heidt. I am manager of Hannahers Incorporated Print Studio at Plains Art Museum in Fargo, North Dakota. I'm also the current artist in resident at Pears over at NDSU. And I also manage a restaurant on the weekends. Yeah, I'm originally from Bismarck. I moved to Fargo about 12 years ago. I went to Moorhead State originally as an art history major. I got about 3 years into that major, and through that degree you have to take a studio just to add it into your, basically it's a major requirement, and I took a printmaking class, and halfway through my first introduction to printmaking class I threw up my hands and decided I never wanted to not work with my hands again. And so in the middle of my introduction to printmaking class, I switched my major to printmaking and never looked back. So that's what I do. I was a weird kid. My mom, it's really funny, she has a bunch of just notebooks, just like most moms tend to collect things sometimes. And I used to just like trace over and do a lot of like stencil drawings, and so I have notebooks upon notebooks full of just doing line drawings and then coloring them in with a color crayon. So I think it was always, my mom never let me use the word bored, and if I did, she made me pay her $1. And so I think that to fill a lot of my time, I would sit there and trace coloring books and just color things in. I was always just very active when it came to just keeping my hands busy, basically, is memory. I think that memory is a very powerful thing. It's something that every person, for the most part, does contain. And so memory connects us to things that we care about across time. And so I think with my artwork, I try to find this balance between naturally occurring shapes, utilizing color, whether it is just multiple tones of black or actually going into the full spectrum of color. I use naturally occurring shapes, and then I use photography and drawing as a vehicle to help stabilize an image. So a lot of my art has symbols, archetypes, mythology, my own mythology that I've built up around my own exploration of life, just like any person, I guess. So I would say that in the past 3 or 4 years I've really developed this love for that blend and balance of abstraction and then almost a hyper-realist symbol that can ground it, basically. So bees. Bees have been in my artwork for, I would say, about 8 years. It was a symbol that presented itself to me in a time. I really, really like the words serendipitous and synchronicity. And I was in a drawing class, and one of my professors, the assignment was to do a landscape, and he went out on a walk and picked up different objects to place in our hands to show us what a landscape could possibly be, whether the whole piece should be based around bark from a tree or a leaf, like what is a landscape? So it brought that into question. And he came to me and he did not grab anything from me, and he said, "I'll be right back." And he left, walked out of the classroom. He was gone for like 2 or 3 minutes. He came back and he looked at me and he goes, "They're dead, don't worry." And my eyes got really big, and he had placed bees in my hand. He had a hive overtaking his office, actually, and he had placed 3 dead bees in my hand. And the synchronized / serendipitous part of everything is that I am a very active dreamer. I like to log my dreams, think about symbols within them. And the night before, I had had a very intense dream of bees chasing me, and actually to be woken up, my better half that I was living with at the time had to throw me in the shower to wake me up. So it was a very intense dream. Bees were in it, and then the next day they were presented to me as a symbol. Again, came to me at a time where I felt that they were necessary, and I view them as life, basically, because I had had a friend who had passed away, and so I just made that connection, synchronized it, made it serendipitous, basically. So bees equal life. I'd say my practice has changed quite a bit, because as you know, when you're in school, you have the opportunity to solely just work on your own stuff. And after getting done with school, I had kind of realized what I expected from the medium and what I had wanted to do with it. And so I initially had started to volunteer at Heidt Studio because I was a printmaker without a press. I was going insane. And so I approached the museum on letting me be up here a couple days a week, just on a volunteer basis, and it would be open to the public. And then eventually it just kind of is a positive snowball effect that it became a position. I took it over, and they saw my drive for wanting to collaborate. And that's the true nature of printmaking, is that people can collaborate, and anybody can do it if you have somebody who is technically skilled. And so, I would say my focus has shifted. Not only, like I said, I am an artist in residence too, so I do work in a different studio on my own stuff, but I utilize Heidt Studio to be a collaborative space, to be able to help and aid and teach. And printmaking in its own right is socially engaging, so to allow for everybody to be a printmaker within this space. So working with others, working for myself, and now that's mashed together, basically. I love printmaking. This is a hard question. So I would say I love printmaking because it challenges me personally with how my mind can piece together things. I think that as an artist, printmaking in its own right is a socially engaging thing, and I think that that's the beauty of it, is that it can bring, whether you're a printmaker or not, you can make prints. And then there's people who are technically advanced to be able to help you work through the process. I think that it's really funny because when you use the term printmaking, I would say 80% of the time people kind of like scrunch their face because they don't quite know exactly what you're talking about. But I think that's the beauty of the metro area, is that we do have a lot of resources for what printmaking can be. I love the social engagement of it. If I have to identify with something for my own process, it would be a lithographer. lecture. And then my newfound love is letterpress and typesetting. I didn't know that the universe could create such a beautiful machine as a Vandercook. It is the most beautiful thing that I have had the honor to work with and to interact with, and has challenged me in ways I never thought I could be challenged. Professionally, I hope to always be a resource for anybody who wants to go through the creation process. And yeah, I think to constantly be up to date and have that conversation of what a print is and what a process is, and yeah, to be a resource constantly, but updating that all the time. Get it. Go. If you feel that you want to be an artist, just push yourself. Never expect things to be handed to you. Always reach for stuff. Just get it, kill it. And something that my father said to me, always remember that as an artist, there is a good possibility that you may have a second job, which is perfectly fine. So is there a way that you can incorporate your art into that second job? Just work hard. Enjoy your time. Enjoy the people that are around you. Be good.